Senator Angus King's co-sponsoring legislation, he says, will further protect the right to vote for American citizens. The Right to Vote Act would establish the first ever statutory right to vote in federal elections. King says this would protect U.S. citizens from state laws that attempt to restrict or limit voter access. He says the bill would give American citizens the ability to sue states for any voter registration policy, restriction policy that is. King says for several years, states across the nation have created stricter voting ID laws, shortening voting times, restricting registration, and purging voter rolls. The Right to Vote Act would require that states attempting to restrict voting access meet a high standard to justify any new policies potentially restricting voters from federal elections.